Hey Janine, would it be terribly time consuming if we could just find out who everybody is and what they represent? Um,
That's totally up
Department.
to you. If you can make it all fit within between now and 11, you're the coach.
I'm just curious where everybody's from. We can just move. We can. Don't you think, Sherry? Just do it quickly.
Yeah, people are still coming in though, so I don't know if you want to maybe
Yeah.
do that.
So I'll do a name call, but first off, I'm going to introduce the two of you. So today, welcome CALS Comm workshop participants. Today we are going to be hearing about campus communication resources from Sherry O'Neill and Suzanne Stanard. And we are going to start off by giving a little intro on both of them. So Sherry is the communication lead at Delta. She promotes Delta services to the NC State community through the monthly Delta e-newsletter, Delta News, and the Delta website. She has been working at NC State for 20 years, including stints in textiles, ITRI, design, teaching in the communication department before joining Delta in 2015. Thanks, Sherry. And Suzanne is the internal communications lead at NC State and editor of the Bulletin e-newsletter. She's been with the university for nearly 20 years, including 12 years as a writer and content strategist with CALS Communications.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah. So, joining us today, and thanks to Sherry and Suzanne for leading the charge. If you would, I'm going to call out anybody's name if they could please tell us what department you are with and what your role is within that department. So if we'll start with Margaret Huffman.
Hey everybody, I'm Margaret. I work in the Department of Agricultural and Resource Economics, which is in CALS, and I'm the communications coordinator.
And sorry, some of these are Unity IDs. MG Danny 4.
Hi, my name is Gina Daniels. Can you hear me?
Yes, you
Yes.
can.
Okay, my name is Gina Daniels, and I am the 4-H Life Skills Program Assistant in Hoke County.
Okay. Cool.
And Pamela Van Emden.
Hi, Food Bioprocessing Nutrition Sciences undergrad and graduate student coordinator.
Okay.
Amanda Gibson.
Hey, I work with CALS IT and I'm their admin assistant.
Ashlyn Shore.
Hi, good morning, everybody. I'm in the Department of Applied Ecology at the Southeast Climate Adaptation Science Center, and I'm the Science Communications Specialist.
Cool.
Bailey McGill.
Hi, I'm Bailey. I'm with North Carolina Cooperative Extension, and I'm a 4-H agent in the Surrey County office.
Sorry, their names are shifting. Claudia Mello. Maybe we're having some speaker issues. Dina Murray.
Hello.
Yeah, it looks like Claudia and Rhea don't have mics today. It looks like in the chat. Yeah.
Hello, I'm with the Extension Office in Carteret County, and I'm the admin.
Sorry, Rhea. Yes.
And Erica Drake.
Good morning. I am in CALS Advancement, and I'm Development Assistant.
Hannah Dankbar.
Hey everybody, I'm the local food program manager for Extension.
Awesome. Jamie Splotney.
Hello, everyone. I am Jamie Zablotny, and I work in CALS Advancement as a development associate.
Javon Smith.
Good morning, everyone. I am with CALS IT. I'm the IT support with IT.
Javon, I miss you.
I miss you more.
Karen Smith.
Hi, everybody. I'm Karen Smith. I work in CALS Advancement. I work with Kathy Kennel and the business team.
Okay.
Lisa Benventi.
Close enough. I'm with CALS, Ag and Human Sciences, and actually with the FNET program, which is the Expanded Food Nutrition Education Program. And I provide training to our nutrition educators that are out in the counties.
So how do we pronounce your last name for future reference?
Benaventi.
Benaventi. Okay. Megan Halbaum.
Good morning, everyone. I also work with FNAP with Lisa, and I am in charge of technology and social media for FNAP.
Megan Bame. Is it sad that I know your Unity ID?
A little bit. And I'm sorry it's like that. I switched computers and I'm like, oh no, my Zoom settings are all gone. So Megan Bame at the Plants for Human Health Institute at the North Carolina Research Campus in Kannapolis.
Pam Byington.
Good morning. I'm Pam. I work with Sonia Murphy in the advancement office.
Yay. P.S. Holt.
Hi, I'm Perry Holt, and I'm with Animal Science, work with the Dairy Records Processing Center, and I'm the communications specialist.
Rebecca O'Connell.
Hi, I'm Rebecca O'Connell. I work with CALS IT and in particular with WordPress.
And I know that there are some other people that have come in between that I haven't caught. KLAASIR.
Yes, Khadija Lasari. Hi.
Hi. And Arenzazu.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I work with the Southeast Climate Adaptation Science Center. We are located, housed in the Department of Applied Ecology, and we run a Global Change Fellows Program funded across the university and do a lot of climate work. So would love to be able to promote our work and our students as much as we can.
Mm-hmm. So we also have Claudia Mello with no mic on, who helps keep Harry Daniels, Becca Zuvich, among a variety of other people on track, and Ria Haber, who is the Communication Marketing Web Ed Manager for Prestige Department of Poultry Science. I think that's everyone. Oh, there's a new person.
It's
yeah, it's going to be a minute. We're going to all do that, right?
So if you, Suzanne and Sherry, if you would get us kicked off into the content, that would be fabulous.
Sure thing. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let's see. Share the correct one. And into presentation mode. Okay. So first of all, thanks so much for being here and joining us this morning. Sherry and I have worked together for a long time, even though we're in different areas of campus, and have each kind of become, I don't know, I think Sherry is like a treasure trove of information. So whenever I can't find something, I go to her. She comes to me. But in our respective positions, we are called on often to help folks with all different kinds of things, from how to start an email newsletter to, you know, writing tips, and how do I find this person who can help me film a video on campus. So we have collected that knowledge with the help of a lot of others here into the presentation. It's loaded with links. So please know that after we present to you guys and we collect your input and update it, we will share the whole thing with you. And then you'll be able to click through and have everything that you need at your fingertips. So I'm going to drive. Sherry and I are taking turns speaking, and Janine's going to monitor the chat. So do feel free to ask questions. And Janine, I'm counting on you to stop us when it's appropriate, and really at any time. This is totally informal. So thanks so much. And here we go. Today, we're going to talk about, hang on. Why is it not letting me? Suzanne. Okay. So we've broken it down into two sections. So we both have tips from our different experiences with the university. Sherry has very distinct knowledge about college unit communication. You heard Janine say that Sherry's been with, well, she's with Delta right now, but she's been in the college situation and in a unit on Centennial campus. And she's also actually taught communication classes. So she has a real good grasp for how to communicate at that level. And then in the couple years that I've been at my position at the university level in enterprise communications, I've learned a few things that I think are worth sharing. And indeed, I'm still learning every day. So we'll share a few tips to start things off. And then we're going to take turns going through tools and how they work and showing you guys kind of the back ends as we can and all that good stuff. So it's going to be, you know, practical information, but also like really resource driven stuff that you can use. All right, Sherry, take it away.
Okay. A lot of this from the college. I was also, which I didn't put in the bio, the college relations communicator at Peace College for 5 years before I came to state. So I've got a small college experience as well as then I left and went to the College of Design. So one thing that has been crucial is having timely communication about changes or new information delivered almost immediately, because there's a sense of people not finding out things on time. And so if you can get your leadership to tell of timely communication when everybody else knows, and I think the chancellor, they've done a pretty good job of doing all that with the COVID and things like that here. But I just want to reiterate as much as I can to make sure you let your constituents know things ahead of time as soon as you can. And then a regular communication is good. Everywhere I've been, I've started a newsletter, whether email or printed, depending on the decade you're talking about. And so like people know to look every Thursday, like how the bulletin comes, or my newsletter for Delta, we send the first week of every month. But people tend to rely on them and don't realize it until they miss it. So just having regular communication with your audience as well. And I do want to caution you to be cognizant of over communicating so you can consolidate the amount of emails that you do send. Each culture is different, even within the big university. There are some people that want to know everything. I know at Delta, like I announce new employees, I send it out, everybody responds and welcomes them. That's something I wasn't used to at other places. But just kind of gauge what your audience internally of the group you're working with, if they prefer daily, weekly updates, just try to know your audience. And some of you I know probably have a Google site or intranet set up where you can post that kind of information, but don't assume people automatically go visit it. You still need to communicate, hey, don't forget to look at our website. And even though I just said, you need to reduce the all emails, our culture at Delta, they want to tell everybody everything at the same time. So they do that a lot.
Sherry, there was a question about getting on the email list, mailing list for Thursday's email.
Oh, that was an example. You mean for the bulletin or for my email? Which one?
Clarify for the bulletin. Does everyone get that?
Yes. Our list updates monthly based on faculty staff count from HR. So every faculty and staff member on campus should receive the bulletin each month. If you're not getting it for some reason, email me, please, and I'll look into it.
Yeah. And then I put in the chat, you can go to our webpage for our newsletter. You can see our old newsletters. Our audience is mostly faculty, unless we're doing the online and distance. And if you want to get those newsletters, you can sign up for that's everything for Delta.
And I can't help but pitch during this time that the CALS, Inside CALS that comes out on Tuesday mornings is, we welcome any updates that come from the college to share there. And I put the submission portal link in the chat.
Great.
And I want to make a quick pitch for Sherry. Delta is the unit that now is center stage with all of this online learning. I mean, clearly they have for years been providing really cool resources to faculty and even to staff. And it's unbelievable all the things that they can help your people do, from, you know, how to use Zoom. So their classroom technology, setting up online learning, like I think that if you have faculty who are struggling with any of this, that would be my first stop recommendation. And to do that, Sherry can tell you who to contact.
Well, and if you get our newsletter, you can, or email me directly. I can hook you up with people. We offer free workshops all the time. They are online, obviously, now, and they're previously recorded workshops for the learning technologies that we have on our website as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so this is a big thing. If you have,
wait. I'm sorry. I jumped.
Oh,
Where am I going?
Oh, no.
Why are my arrows not? Oh, wait. Here we are. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I clicked the wrong thing. Okay. There you are, Sherry.
So I'm kind of old school, and this has been very hard for me, this being alone at home working, because FaceTime is really important with people. I went to graduate school at Carolina when In Search of Excellence was really a new book, a new concept, and organizational communication was my major. And it's amazing how much work you get done just by sticking your head in somebody's office or having a casual conversation. But just being approachable and seen as a good listener when you get back in service where you can actually work if you're not yet is important. And in the meantime, there's some collaboration tools that we use. We have a lot of public calendars, just Google calendars. We have a Delta Activities Committee. They have a calendar. You can look at that when you want to. And we have other tools. We have a Slack tool that before the virus, only a few of us in IT used it. Yeah, I'll check that out and get back to you. Okay, Aranza. The Google Chat, I don't know if y'all know that Hangouts has changed to chat, but I put a link to the OIT website where they have the two differences, because there is still Google Hangout, but Google Chat is the one that we use a lot. Slack has been great, and we have so many people using it now. And then, of course, Zoom, which we're all on now, but that's kind of new. We've been doing so much Zoom that everybody has a Zoom-ache by the end of the day. So,
do you know, I never used Zoom until the pandemic forced me to, and I love it now. It's awesome. Yeah. All right, let me get the right arrow this time.
There was a quick question about Slack, Sherry.
Okay.
What do you like best
what
about
I like
it?
best about Slack is we have set up different channels within Slack. So like I'm on the IT groups because I'm co-owner of the website. And a lot of times if people have WordPress questions, I can see them and that helps me. But you can also direct message somebody, and it seems to be easier at Delta to get people online to respond and that kind of thing in Slack. We also have a lunch channel. So like if everybody wants to go to lunch or somebody's looking for that, we have work from home mental health channel. So we have so many things. We have random, and then we have faculty support. So that's the quickest way. If a faculty member contacts Delta and needs support and the person who's handling it doesn't know, they can put a quick Slack message in, and you will just see like 10 answers pop up automatically. I know UComm has a Slack that they use, and I think OIT uses one too. We at Delta use the free version. We don't have the enterprise version.
Mm-hmm. I will say too, with Google Chat, now that they have this room functionality, we've been using that a whole lot recently. We've had very specific, it's topic driven, like Sherry was saying. So only the folks involved need to be getting a ton of messages. So it keeps your email from getting clobbered. And it's just been a nice way to, I have a bulletin review team, so I can just send them a quick message saying the test is coming at 9, be ready, you know, that kind of thing, without having to email them and pull their individual names. So I've really enjoyed the Rooms functionality in Google Chat recently. We good?
Yep.
It's happening again. It's like not letting me advance. Let's try this. Okay, it keeps changing. So tips for communicating within the university. And for most of these first two or three came from my experience when I first started this position. It was the first of its kind position, and I really wanted to understand, even though I had been at NC State for such a long time, how the university was organized and who were the key people I would need to know to get the information that I need for the bulletin, and just to make sure I know who to touch base with and build those relationships with. So I spent a lot of time in that first month just building a database that we'll get to this later, but I'm eventually going to share it and hope the campus communicator community can help me build it out even further with the names of communicators all over campus, because I know we have close to 200 communicators, and that list barely scratches the surface. But my advice to you, even if you've been with your unit for a while, is just make sure you understand the org chart and the key people within each area and who you need for what, and just kind of have that at your disposal. The second best piece of advice I can give is to listen, and that comes from my experience as a reporter. Listening is the best way to get what you need, and also to build those relationships and that trust. So I set up meetings like Sherry. I prefer to do them in person, so this has been really challenging recently. Ask questions, learn as much as you can about your audience and their preferences. So for instance, if you have a department or a unit within a department who thinks they need a newsletter, you know, go over and talk to them and find out what they're trying to achieve and why. And maybe there's a different way to do it, or maybe a newsletter is the best possible route. But really just making yourself accessible is key. And that does, I'll say, it sets you up for receiving a lot of email with questions, but it makes me glad that people can come to me as a resource and get what they need. Even if it's not for me, I'll shoot them to the correct person. So just being available, listening, and making sure you know who's who in all those areas are key. We're also building a university-wide newsletter database. It's linked here, and anyone with this link can edit it. So feel free to peruse it for newsletters you can sign up for from different areas on campus. And also, if you see yours missing or know of one that's missing, please feel free to add it. And I encourage you to evaluate your distribution lists and consider including folks from other units and colleges who might have a vested interest in what your goals are and what your purpose is, and who may just want to keep an eye on your information. That's valuable
Suzanne,
too.
would you
Yes.
mind dropping the link for that into the chat?
Yes. Let me, okay. Tech savvy. I'm going to do this and grab it. Sorry, you're all seeing my
I was going to say is you can see that a lot of them say whether they take information from other people, so it's a good way to collaborate too.
Yes, it is.
And so then
I'm having trouble, y'all. I'm so bad at this.
Well, you're going to get the presentation, which all these links are live in.
Hang on. Let me try now. Okay. I think I've got it. There we go.
Okay.
All right, now I'm going to go back to sharing. Sorry, y'all. Okay, the dog is banging on my door, so let's ignore that. Oh, great. That's not what we need. Okay. Can someone please come in and get Winnie? Yeah. Right now? Sorry, life with kids and a 6-month-old puppy. Okay, I'm going to move forward. Okay, I don't know how many of you have access to Newswire, but it's been a wonderful tool for me at the college level in CALS. We were part of the ground level in getting Newswire started. And it was such a great way to get our stories in front of others in the university. So folks who have accounts in Newswire can see everything else from all the other colleges and units. And also, I use Newswire as a university level communicator almost every day to find out what's going on with you guys. So I pull from Newswire for the bulletin. And I know that our folks in social media and in the homepage management and marketing writing also keep an eye on it. I'm going to dip in here and show you what it looks like, unless there are enough of you who don't want to see it, who already are using it.
We might need to go. Let's go back to that. Is that okay?
Now, do what?
I said we probably
pull her by the collar and take her out. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, Sherry, what now?
I think we need to go into that later if you don't, because we are only on the first couple of slides and we got 30 minutes left.
Gosh, okay, thank you. All right. And then the last one's a no-brainer, you know, breaking down silos. And part of that, it goes into making yourself available, connecting people who have common interests, signing up for newsletters that aren't in your organization, inviting others to sign up for yours, all that good stuff. So let's keep going here. Okay, email newsletters. And like I said earlier, if you have a client who is interested in starting one, always make sure you ask them why first, and consider that there might be other newsletters on campus already achieving those goals. And that could open up a door to, you know, submitting content to those newsletters, to collaborating somehow. But if there really is a very specific purpose for your newsletter, then certainly pursue it. But I always start with that question when folks come to me wanting to build their own newsletter. I'm going to open the email generator. This is a service that UConn provides. And this is, all these links will be sent to you when we finish this presentation. The email generator, there are two levels. There's a free tier available to all campus communicators that has a single column newsletter option, and also our bulletin style, which is a little more complex, that has features and spotlights and things like that. If you want to pursue different templates, invitations, speaker series announcements, there's a premium tier available. And to do that, you'll need to contact, if you scroll here, Luis Chacon in our unit will help you with the premium version. But if you want to use the free tier, all you have to do is log into the generator to get going. And I will say, whatever direction you want to take, feel free to reach out to me first, because I can help facilitate that connection with Luis and make sure that, you know, help you decide if that's really the route you want to take and how to maximize the free ones to your advantage and maybe not have to spend that money. Okay, email guidelines. God, this is so weird. I use my, okay. The two big pieces for me are that, well, I think for everyone in the university system is you have to have an opt-out option and contact information available, meaning that folks who want to reach you need to have a way to do that. With ours, you can simply reply and it comes to a bulletin email address that I see. There are editorial and voice and tone guidelines on our UConn website that were developed by our editorial services team. I'm not going to open these because they're self-explanatory. We also adhere to AP style as well. And right now AP has specific style guides that are free without subscription for coronavirus and for diversity and those other issues that are happening around the country right now. If you have brand questions about how your email should look, especially if you're not going to use the generator, this would be the address to use, the NC State brand, and somebody will get back to you with how to get going on that.
If you see my newsletter, we don't use the generated one. We have,
but it's a beautiful newsletter. Yeah. I'm going to show you a couple here, starting with mine. The bulletin is the primary newsletter for campus faculty and staff. And I use the advanced format. This is just one from a couple weeks ago. You have a lot of options here to to customize your content, even though there are modules that you have to use. I found ways to kind of wiggle around and use them for different purposes. So I have a lead feature, sub features. I always have a spotlight here in the middle. And this is where I'm still kind of working the more news section to divide up information so it's not just this, you know, painful list of links to look at. This was a particularly big issue because it was right before school started. And we had been on a summer schedule where I was only publishing every other week. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend having a newsletter be this long. But that's just what happened for us for this issue. And you have calendar options and subtext options down here at the bottom. But I will show you the back end of the generator in just a moment. Graduate school newsletter. They use, it looks like their own template, just to give you an idea. This is a big one too, probably because it's from the start of the school year. Provost office, they publish monthly, and this one is actually a really good opportunity to get general faculty news. It's not just for provost office units, but if you have any, it goes to all faculty. So units like Sherry's can submit information, but truly they accept information from anyone on campus as long as it's relevant to faculty. And they follow the bulletin style as well. If I'm going too fast, just stop me. I just don't want to run out of time. Centennial Campus News is one of the secondary formats. It's not the bulletin, but it's one that has a list of features, and that's the whole format. Okay. Okay, Staff Senate has a newsletter. And now, Sherry, can you speak to this in terms of who can submit to the Staff Senate newsletter? Because I'm not clear on that exactly.
Anyone can submit events that are related to staff. I mean, you can submit anything. But they want 3 to 4 weeks heads up. The only reason I know about this one, because even though I'm a staff member, I never got the newsletter, and I don't know why. So that one of my colleagues was the Staff Senate president, and so she told me. So I've been trying to use that as well.
Okay, so you can fill in this form that links here, or just email them.
Or email them. Mm-hmm.
And then, Sherry, can you speak to the student government newsletter too? They have this HOWL form that is an opportunity for employees to share news with students, which I think is really cool.
Yeah,
Sherry,
I'm not sure because I don't get the email anymore, but I used to get the email, and we had some stuff we need students to know about the test centers on campus. And so I was able to submit through this form and get it to be submitted. And from what I remember, their newsletter is just a little bit of text or like a personal note from whoever the student government body president is. And then it just lists all the events that were submitted. So I'm not sure how the process is, you know, as far as since we get a new president every year, but I've been successful using that before.
Okay, I'll make a note to look into that and find out what the process is for this year, because I think this is one of the best ways to reach students through email.
Yeah.
And I believe it comes out weekly, which is nice. And HR launched a new one in the past 6 months called Howl You Know. It replaced the onboarding center's Howl About It newsletter. And this is usually a pretty brief one, but it has really good information about resources for employees. And especially now, folks are concerned, obviously, about coming back to campus and their health and their jobs and, you know, having to use leave and how all that works. And so this newsletter, see right here, even leave options. I often pull pretty much every story from this and share it in some way or other in the bulletin, because this really gets to the heart of what a lot of faculty and staff are concerned about. You should be receiving this, every faculty and staff member should be receiving this monthly. They update their list to keep it current. And then again, here's what the master list looks like that I mentioned earlier and put the link in the chat. This is an open database for any communicator to contribute to, and you'll see the different sections. We've got all kinds of newsletters on campus, and part of my job is to try to streamline some of those that go to the entire campus community, but many of these, the vast majority, are to very specific audiences, and that's wonderful. So keep an eye on that, edit it as you see fit, and sign up for any newsletters that interest you. All right, Sherry.
Okay, you're gonna have to drive, but I know a lot of you, if you're not on the campus, you may not be aware of this, but you might still be able to publicize your events through this. There's a billboard system that has all these units across campus. You know, you can go to screen locations and see, but it tells you how many slides are available. Now, some of those probably should have been taken down by the people that put them up because they're expired. But there's some new ones that you were talking about. If you go to the community real quick at the top, and then maybe search down here for Campus Enterprises, you can see some of the new ones that they put out with masks, like thinking they almost look like the signs that they're putting all over campus. If you haven't been to campus, you can see. But a lot of times there are events, like maybe the chancellor's presentation. Well, no, that's not a good example.
Let's look at this. So these are what are on the docket right now, right?
Yeah. So like you can choose to add these to your boards, but if you have news that you want anybody on campus to add, you can actually add them to this. It's free to sign up. You just sign up, and so like if you've got an event coming up, like let's take that virtual 3-minute thesis competition. Say you are in a different county, but you want people to know about something that you're doing online, then you can send a billboard and then follow up with an email and say, hey, do you mind putting this on your billboard for other people to see? We've had really good luck with that. Yeah, and this is more for people who are really on campus, but there's this thing called Media Mesh that they use in Tally if you're going to actually have a presentation or reserve one of their rooms. And so you can just load your stuff to this. And this is something I didn't know about, but Rave, if you go back to the slide real quick, they do that through Rave Catering, that when you're, if you're catering an event, well, okay, that's a bad link. I'll take that one out. But we had hosted an event over there and needed to have slides shown, and we didn't know what to do. So they were able to include them on their monitors through this.
Does the mesh include that big one that hangs on the outside of Tally now? Or is that, do you know how to access that one?
No, I just email Theo Kingsbury if I need anything over there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we'll
so
add that to the notes.
Yeah,
guys.
I'll put his name on here where the Tally Student Union thing is.
Okay.
Yeah. And there are also some facilities on campus. This doesn't help you if you're not on campus, I'm sorry, but there are recording booth studio and PSAs for Wolf Bites. And at the beginning of the semester, I think we talk about later, there is a charge for the booth studio usage, but at the beginning of the semester, they put PSAs up for the first couple of weeks. There's also a studio and soundproof booth over at Butler in UComm, and Bill Baverstock is the contact for that. And then at Delta, especially for your faculty, we have 2 mini studios that they can record lectures, anything like that. And Jakara Dixon is the contact for that one. There's one on main campus and one on Centennial. Is that right?
Yep. Okay.
So,
I'm sorry. Were there any questions before we jump away from facilities?
No, there's just conversation amongst people.
Okay.
We're good to go?
Good to go.
Okay. UComm resources, we're trying to continue to build as many as we can to not only unite the campus communicator community, but to really be a resource for you guys and give you things that you can actually use. So I am pushing hard in my position to develop real and tangible guides and toolkits and resources like that will be helpful. The biggest thing that you could do right now is become aware, if you're not already, what's happening. Oh, I'm on the wrong. State Comm. Sorry, let's see. So State Comm is essentially the, why?
Why don't you just go to, if you want to show it to them, just go to your waffle up there.
Where now?
You've already switched back to the, if you just go to a different tab.
Okay.
Oh, you've got it right there, right? Your Google website.
I just wanted to show you the, oh wait.
Right beside the presentation, you've got one open that says Google.
This is groups though. I wanted to show
my groups, but that's State Comm is a Google group.
I understand. Okay, so this is part of one of the benefits that State Comm offers, and it's, I think I'm logged into my personal Gmail.
I see. Okay.
Here, this is going to help us. Yes. Okay. So State Comm is a relatively recent effort in the last few years to unite all communicators on campus. And as it stands now, State Comm used to host quarterly meetings that often brought in speakers from other organizations and universities and colleges, as well as a yearly summer institute that was a day-long in-person conference with multiple speakers and topics, and was a really great opportunity to network as well. Part of being in State Comm is the opportunity to take advantage of these peer groups and affinity groups. And there are all different types here. Councils are larger groups that membership is not capped. And you'll see here that there are 4 right now: events, research, comms, social media, and web. And then there are 3 affinity groups: graphic design, internal communications, and writing and editing. These groups tend to be smaller, and membership is supposed to be capped. But I will say, as the chair of the internal communications affinity group, that I welcome any new members. We are active with quarterly meetings, and we bring in outside speakers from other universities and share best practices. And it's also a really nice opportunity for folks from different parts of campus to get together and hash out issues, internal communication issues, and just generally helping each other out. So if you're interested in joining that one, please feel free to email me.
And just as a shout out to Suzanne, when this COVID started, I started scheduling meetings for her to invite the internal comms people for us to talk about all the things that were going on and how we were going to survive all this. So we did lots of Zoom meetings, and it's a really active, important group, I think.
Thank you. So if you scroll further down the page, you can find the group that you're interested in and contact one of the chairs about joining. And I'm sure those folks will reach back to you. I'm not sure how active the other groups are right now, especially in this new era that we're in. But if you're interested, definitely reach out to some of these folks and feel free to join in. And in terms of the larger State Comm organization, I'm going to pull from this link here. I think the biggest value is, I
don't think it's there, Suzanne.
I don't think it is either. Okay. Is the Google group. And so many of you probably are already subscribed to this. If you're not, again, contact me and I can put you in as one of the group managers. There are probably about 200 folks in that group. Sherry and I monitor the submissions. So you'll essentially write an email to a given address, and it goes through a filter, and then we publish it. But it's an awesome way to ask questions. It's very informal. Like, you don't have to have a big deal, you know, some kind of high priority item, which, although we welcome that, but if it's even like, hey, have you guys seen this stuff on Reddit or whatever, it's a great way to talk to other people and collaborate. And I just love it. I use it all the time to share information about things that our unit is working on, and events and things like that. And leading into that, gosh darn it, is toolkits. Okay, this really excites me because this is where the real stuff is. So on the University of Communications and Marketing site, there are toolkits, of course, starting with the brand, which don't get me started on that. I support the brand. Obviously, we all have to, but I am more interested in telling the stories that represent the brand. There's a campaign toolkit, photography, Day of Giving, which will probably be updated. They're doing kind of a modified Day of Giving this year. But one that I recently developed that started as the coronavirus toolkit is now called Protect the Pack. And this has all kinds of resources and tools, signage that you can download, digital screen assets, all the videos. A lot of stuff is coming out in a lot of different ways. And it's been hard for me to get my brain around how best to collect that for communicators, because, you know, Chancellor Woodson sends email updates on a pretty regular basis, and they're all cataloged on this page through this link. So instead of digging back through your email to find it, come here and they're all cataloged by date. Same thing with the virtual town halls. They're all cataloged with recordings. This is especially relevant today now that they've identified a cluster at NC State. This is the testing and tracking dashboard, updated, I should probably say, more often than weekly. We give weekly stats, but I'm pretty sure they're in there every day, updating those numbers. Return to Work Guide is a PDF book, basically, for faculty and staff. And then this FAQ, I swear we updated it every other day with information. Emergency Management does an awesome job putting everything out there. This Working at NC State site has a ton of information for you guys. I mean, just it goes on and on, all kinds of forms, how the different units are operating. So they'll keep updated, you know, campus enterprises and facilities and, you know, dining and things like that. So that's also a really cool one to bookmark. And then we go on and just share tips for content strategy and vetting. We're asking to review those things. There's an editorial calendar, glossary, media relations, photography. So it's just, and here's the new Day of Giving information. And here is how to submit information to the listserv. So you would just write to this email address and it'll go through our little vetting system and then come out pretty much instantly. There are about 4 or 5 of us who have access to approve those messages. And again, if you're not seeing StateComm email listserv items coming to your inbox, just email me and I will add you.
We need to get quick if we're gonna have questions.
I know videography is self-explanatory. Photography is self-explanatory. This is the main NC State photo page. It looks different now. Same functionality with the galleries. And if you want recent stuff, I've been searching COVID-19 and it pulls up all of the stuff that Becky and Mark have been doing most recently. So we've had a lot of folks, I get a lot of questions about, can I get photography of people wearing masks? Well, that's where you would find it. And we have an online form. All this will come to you after the presentation. Sorry. Okay, go Sherry.
A lot of times I needed, especially when I was at the design school, I needed to get digital resources from University Archives. They have a wonderful collection of things if you need, you know, if you're having an anniversary of your division or whatever. Todd Kosmerick is the contact over there. And then this is just about G Suite. I linked to the website over at OIT, but I know one thing that I do is I send my newsletter from Delta from my generic account, which is delta-connections@ncsu.edu. And I can also, it's just like a regular account. And as soon as I send the email out, people are commenting or asking more questions and things like that. So I like to have that available, and it's separate from my own email, but it also comes with the same YouTube channel, picture storage, all that kind of thing that you get in a regular Google account. So if you have certain things you want to save just for the newsletter, I can do that there. We have a team drive, which is now called a shared drive for all the communicators. I have so many interns and part-timers that if they create work on their own drive and they leave, I may not have what I need. So we have set up the team drive so that anybody in my team has access to those if something happens and we need to update stories or find old ones. And you can talk about the university calendar.
Sure. This is relatively new within the last year. And we are actively working to with different units and colleges. You may have already been contacted by Thyre Bland, who is the person on our staff who is managing the calendar. But it's going to integrate eventually every single college and unit calendar will integrate here in a really easy way that makes it easier for you guys and also gets your stuff up to the university level. So it's an excellent resource. If you're interested in integrating your unit with the calendar, right now we have these topics, and I know that he is actively going out and meeting with different colleges and units. Here again, diversity and inclusion, faculty and staff, arts and culture, to integrate their events into the calendar. It has social functionality, which is really cool. So you can say you're interested in going. Well, I'm not logged in. And then it'll take you to a page of the event, and then you can see who else is going, which is kind of cool. Or you can share it with someone else and invite them. So it's an excellent tool. It's new, and we are working really hard to get folks involved. If you want to learn more about the calendar or get your unit connected in a different way, a better way, then definitely reach out to Thyre. He's great. All right, Sherry.
Okay. The color of the bullets, and I messed up. Okay. So how many of you have used GoLinks? You can do a hands up if you want. They have changed the GoLinks to give you wonderful analytics and tracking and things. So if you go to the GoLinks, you can create one. You can see all the ones. You have to be logged in probably to do it, but you can see all of the traffic. And I started using the modifiers. So if I put something in my newsletter, I'll put the GoLink and then a colon, and then newsletter, I will put like April newsletter or something. So then when I go to my analytics page within my GoLinks, it shows how many were on Twitter, how many, how did people get to that link? And that's been very useful for us for our marketing and trying to figure out things. These are just some resources that are available at the university. The Get on the Web.ncsu.edu, if anybody needs that, is something from OIT as well. And it just tells you all the things about getting started, campus branding. They have a whole bunch of stuff, university campus. It's just really good. And also make sure to err on the side of being really accessible with your sites. It's becoming more and more crucial. And Crystal Tennant over at OIT can help with any of that. We also, what was it called? Lynda.com is now LinkedIn Learning. So there's a Go link to LinkedIn Learning, and we have that free as part of our NC State. From what I understand, it's free that you can go to LinkedIn Learning and take all kinds of classes.
It is. I'm going to jump in quickly and tell y'all I have taken like 3 or 4 of these classes this summer, and it's awesome. It's just a great resource on everything from like technical things like design and photography to more general things like leadership and management and content strategy. I have loved this resource, and the university has a license, and anyone is free to use it. It's a totally free service, and it's high caliber, high quality training.
Yeah, but make sure to log in with your NCSU and not your Gmail.
Yeah.
And then the Wolf Bites What's Up. Those are the things I mentioned earlier, that they'll do the PSA recordings.
Mm-hmm. At the beginning of each semester.
At the beginning of each semester, yeah. So BJ's the one that does that, and his email's down there.
Yep.
And if you want to show them Newswire, I don't know how many people, you have to have WordPress to be able to use Newswire, but like she said, that'll be in our link. You just have to request from UComm to get an identity on there to be able to pull in stories into your website through WordPress.
We will. I'll beef up that Newswire section a little bit with. We also have a really good contact person if you need help, and a little bit more clarity on the steps to hop in there. But we're at 10:56, and I want to make sure we have time for if there are any questions, or if there's a lot of folks who want to see Newswire. Just Janine, let us know what you think here.
if anybody else has any other campus resources we need to include. Somebody mentioned the library having studios, so we'll figure that out, include that too.
Yeah, and I'd love it. I haven't had a chance to look at the chat, but please add anything in there that you think belongs in this presentation or in a toolkit. Reach out to me for UCOM toolkit ideas, anything. We welcome all your ideas. And we'll share this. I'm going to go through the chat with Sherry and we'll supplement the presentation and then share it back out with updated links and extra information. And apologies for the technical difficulties. I don't know why, like some arrows worked, some didn't, then my mouse worked and then that quit working. So sorry about that.
Sherry, are there instructions about how to use the Go links in the way that you were talking about? Track analytics?
I can,
if it's in the presentation, that's great. I just, I use Go links all the time, but I didn't know that there was a way you could use it to track better.
Yeah, so I've got a really smart person that works with me that tells me stuff like that. So I'll share my screen real quickly. Oops, I'm sharing the wrong screen. I don't want that screen.
Because that would be something I would love to share with the college community in general, because I think that there are a lot of people that use Go links.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can use them more effectively, that would be smart.
I was trying to share my screen, but everything's in the full ring, so I can't do it. If I go, let me see.
You want to tell me here?
What?
I can try. I'll log in.
So there was a question about joining the photography group.
Here I go. I got it now.
Okay.
Sorry. So I'm already logged in, so I can go to my links. And let's say, what's one that I would want to do? Oh, Lord, I have so many Go links. Let me do the newsletter connections, if I have that. Nope, that's one of the things I put. Go ahead and talk, Janine, while I try to figure this out. Delta Grants is one.
Oh, so the Suzanne, if you had how to become part of the photography.
Yes, I would. I'm on the page now looking. Events.
So like we've used, you see that the hashtag, like it's saying like Twitter. So we did hashtag MailChimp email, MC email, and we sent it to a select group of people who signed up. There were 23 hits. But usually you have on other things, I've had a whole lot more. So I'll just try to add that to the presentation before we send it. I'll take a screenshot of it, but it gives you a great graphic view of where your Go links are.
For photography, they were doing these great campus walks before COVID happened that were open to any communicators who wanted to join. They capped them, I think, at maybe 10 people, but they did them so often that there was always an opportunity to join. So if you are interested in joining a photography group, I would contact Becky Kirkland, and I'm going to put her information here in the chat, and she can let you guys know what their plans are. Maybe there's a way to do a safe social distance photo walk, or at least she can share resources with you.
Rhea said she leads that. She manages the photography walk group.
Who, Rhea does?
Yep.
Awesome. Then ignore me.
And then I know that with the switch from Pack Pics to NC State Photos, it seems like it's more closely linked to our Unity IDs, and that because at one point with Pack Pics a long time ago, you had to create like a third-party sign-in, but I think now it's linked with our Unity ID, so that should give you access if so long as you have your Unity ID and your password.
Instead of having to get permission to join, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, it changed last summer. We hired a temp to go through the entire PackPick site and weed out stuff that hadn't been used, that was too old, add new things, organize it better. And also that includes, your usability. So you should be able to log in with your Unity ID credentials. If you have any trouble with the NC State Photos site, again, reach out to Becky Kirkland or Mark Hall and they'll help you. But it's just such a big difference from what we used to have. It's been really a lot easier to use.
Well, thanks again to Suzanne and Sherry. I think this was awesome to hear all of this through your voices. I think that the presentation is an excellent resource to showcase all of the different options that are available on campus. And so thank you both for giving us some background and help guiding us through. So
thank you. And I was just putting in the chat, we'll be in touch soon with the updated presentation for you guys to use. So thanks so much.
Thank you, guys.
And we're in the process of determining what next month's CalsComm workshop will be. So be on the lookout, and also I'll send out the feedback form so we can hear about your ideas for the future. Thanks so much.
All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.